folks, Hypsi's back! Today, I'm not alone. I have my brother Alex working with me in this video. Now we will be looking at some of the most unrealistic figures in the whole history of Jurassic World figures. Hey Alex,
What?
So you grabbed the Hypsi Lopron first.
Yes.
Now this is a very unrealistic figure. I mean, I'm pretty sure we've seen this in one of the videos, at least I remember. And what's most unrealistic about this figure, the colors aren't that bad actually. Right, Alex?
Yeah.
But these little weird humps right here, I don't know what they are. I think they're like feathers or something, or green marks. It's super unrealistic. There's no way Hypsi Lopron had that.
Yeah.
So this might actually be the second most unrealistic, maybe third.
Yeah.
Third most unrealistic figure. Okay, grab another. Whoa, Alex. This is a pretty cool figure. Now, I don't like that you moved the camera, but it is a pretty new figure. We got it just yesterday. Now, this figure is actually pretty cool. We've been waiting for it for a long, long time. Now, you might not expect this to be an Indominus. It looks more like a level 40 Indominus from Jurassic World game. Oh, correct, Alex?
Yeah.
But this is actually the reimagined Indominus from Jurassic World Rebirth. Weird, right?
Yeah.
So, you think this thing is about 1.5 feet long. So you're not really expecting it to be a super colossal eating thing, right?
Yeah.
So you don't believe me they eat things.
But
Well,
let's see.
We'll see. We'll use this broken Nerf dart as a demonstration. Now, put it in. Now,
There.
yep. Looks like it swallowed it. Now, how are you going to get it out? Well, first, I'm pretty sure there's not a hatch because it doesn't look like it. But there is this little slide.
Why you can get it out.
Yes, I don't like it as much as the hatches
Yeah.
because the hatches were much, much easier.
Yeah. But here you actually have to struggle and get it out.
Oh, definitely. We'll get it out at the end of the video.
Yeah.
It's pretty unrealistic even for an Indominus. Indominus on its own is unrealistic. Just adding the red makes it even more unrealistic. I mean, I don't see this thing really camouflaging because it's not white fully. It's a bunch of different colors. It doesn't look like it's turning camouflage.
Yeah.
It looks more like it's trying to show off its colors.
But it's still a pretty cool figure.
For sure, one of the best figures ever made. But I have to admit it's on our unrealistic pile. Agreed?
Yeah.
Now, Alex, you just grabbed the second most unrealistic figure. Here's why it's the second most unrealistic. Well,
The spikes.
yeah, these spikes are definitely unrealistic. So, 1, the color. 2, the spikes. I don't even think Stixiosaurus had spikes, but even if he did, these holes would be very unrealistic. I don't see that unless the
That would be
Stixiosaurus.
like a weakness.
I don't think Stixiosaurus had that. I don't even think. And then these teeth look kind of unrealistic. This is part of the new series called Chaos Theory. Not Epic Evolution Chaos Theory, 2025 Chaos Theory. And what's weird about it is this whole series, they're trying to make it as weird and unrealistic and kind of scary looking. They're trying to make it as dramatic as they can.
Yeah.
Hypsi Lopron is part of the series. Stixiosaurus is part of the series. Alex, why don't you grab the pterosaur that's part of the series?
And they make these, they try to make them so scary, they come out so unrealistic.
Yeah, dramatic. And then, so I do not exactly know what the pterosaur name is, so I'll go back in another video and tell you guys. But what I do know is that this thing would never fly.
Yeah, because it has its rips.
Holes, rips. Yeah, it's very
They
unrealistic.
made it like it crashed into a tree and
It doesn't even look like that. It looks worse than that. It looked like it fell down in an airplane and then people started mining its wings.
yeah.
So, I don't know what to more say about it because it's unrealistic. Looks like you got the most unrealistic figure ever made. The level 40 Indominus Rex. Now, I don't think you can get this thing in the markets anymore.
It's kind of broken.
It's not really broken. We got a pretty good figure. I mean, there's no other place to get it but eBay, literally.
Yeah. And we found it pretty quickly.
Yeah. In fact, I got it for my birthday. Now, we'll hit this. What are you expecting, Alex?
The spikes.
I think you're expecting a roar. Let's see if your first guess was correct.
Yep, I was correct.
Those spikes. Alex, why don't you hit the button? You really want to?
Yep.
I'll hold it down. Whoa. They look like little sabers coming on the back. Completely unrealistic. That isn't even in Jurassic World the game.
Yeah.
Which this is from Jurassic World the game. I have no clue why they made it for a figure. I mean,
They made it so unrealistic that it's not even
when you think of
funny.
when you think of vintage figures, you think of them to be these super realistic figures. But then when you look at this, it's literally opposite.
Yeah.
When this is a pretty old figure.
Yeah.
I mean, it even still has the sign on it. Well, it's not GP anymore, so it's definitely not Jurassic Park, but it's
Yeah.
GV.
Yeah.
So it's Jurassic World. You can see that because it's a J. And then there's a So this figure is pretty cool, but it's also pretty unrealistic. Though it is a pretty cool figure to play with if you were at the time when it was created.
Yeah.
At this point, I don't think it's that good to play with.
Because it's kind of broken actually.
Yeah, most of them are. Watch
And
this.
when you pull it, then the mouth should have opened up and start chomping a bunch of times, like chomp, chomp, chomp.
Well,
chomp,
it
chomp.
works sometimes, but I think that's the only break in it.
Yeah. But you can also use it as slashing.
Yes. So I guess it works out.
Yeah.
It's a pretty
and
fun.
this hand, you can just move it like.
Yes, but I really think this figure is more of a collective figure than a play with
Yeah.
figure because it's so old and most of them are broken. I mean, you're
Yeah.
spending like $599 to get a unbroken figure, and then you're waiting like 5 years to get it. So, I don't think it's. I think it's a collector's item. What's this? Oh, Kakaro! Nice find, Alex. So what's unrealistic about this figure is it looks pretty unrealistic. Yes, it looks pretty realistic. Yes, the color's cool, and yes, the color's pretty cool, and the size is unrealistic. And what's really weird is the size. The size is unrealistic. Car was probably second biggest carnivore at 46 feet, right after Spider. It even was bigger than Saurophylax, my personal favorite, at 43 feet. Both of them were bigger than T-Rex. Both of them were also bigger than Giga. Most people think Giga's the biggest carnivore, when Giga was actually only 40 to 42 feet, which is actually not that huge.
This figure's pretty cool, but it's still unrealistic.
Yes, it does have chopping action. I like how they made the figure, just the size is really unrealistic, right?
I like also the color of it.
I really like the color. That's one of their best colorations. Oh, yep. So this Moza, it's literally the opposite on the card. cargo is too small and the Mosa's too big.
And it can also open its jaw to swallow minis.
Yes, it can. Now, what's unrealistic about this figure is it's so huge. It's like 2 feet, like maybe even 3 feet. Yeah, it's crazy. So, Mosasaurus was about 49 to 60 feet. But in Jurassic World and all the movies, it's about, I looked at a sheet on the internet and it said that I don't know if it's absolutely correct. That's why I'm telling you a shot of the internet. So the internet is sometimes incorrect. So, it said that they were about 70 to 200 feet, which is totally unrealistic. And I wonder how big it'll be in the rebirth.
It's pretty cool, but just it's still unrealistic.
They could make it smaller, like Spino sized. Yeah. So pull out our Spino, Alex. Really? You have to pull out the Sarco instead. Oh my god. Well, I guess we're stuck with it. So what's unrealistic about this Sarco is the color. Not that bad. It's probably not one of the most unrealistic. Just, I wanted to put it in this video. So I pulled it out and found out that it's pretty unrealistic. Now, there is a version that is more realistic. Just, I don't have it.
This one, if we ordered the other one, it would come later.
The other one is much cheaper. So, I might as well buy it sometime soon. Finally, got me my Spino, Alex. So, what's unrealistic about this figure is one. Well, what's really cool is this paws move and this does. The mouth chomps then. It's pretty cool, pretty nice. Yep. And then when you press this button, it slashes, which is pretty cool. Not unrealistic. What's unrealistic is this. It looks like it's rotting away, literally.
And if that happened to a Spinosaurus, it would be dead.
What's interesting about this figure is when you hit this, and when it shuts off and starts blinking, they both blink. So it must be hooked up with a wire or something.
And then you can just pull it back.
Yeah. So not probably the most unrealistic, but it's at least in the top 5. Oh! This might actually be top 5 instead. So, top 6, Spino. Congrats, you escaped from top 5.
Yeah.
Dilophosaurus.
And one thing, when you pull the tail up,
yes, that's pretty cool.
Like this.
But first up, Dilophosaurus could not spit venom. So, no spitting for you today.
Yeah. And no killing people today, too.
And then, another thing is Dilophosaurus was only like 8 feet, which they got the size right, I guess. But, another thing, no scaring people in the movies. No frills allowed. These frills were not on Dilophosauruses. So, I hope you liked this video. And please watch more videos. Please subscribe and like this video. Hypsi out.